Welcome to Online Yin Yoga with Nita. I'm Mariana, but everyone calls me Nita. Today we're going to be doing a Yin Yoga flow focused on the lower body and our legs. And we're also going to be doing some breath work and meditation along the way. What are we using today for props? So blocks are great. If you have a couple of these, bring them. If you don't, you can use boxes, thick books, anything that can give you height or support. We'll have at least a couple of those. Also, pillows or cushions like this are great. A couple of these, or if you have a bolster, this is beautiful. We can use it throughout. Or you can just roll a blanket, thick blanket or towel like a burrito, like so. And just bring a blanket either way, because it's really cozy just to have it around you, especially for the end of the practice. Other than that, water, tea, a sweater, anything that feels really cozy today. It's raining, so today's like, perfect Sunday morning over here. I don't know what time of the day or day is lit for you right now. So, but yeah, anything that feels supported today, really. Other than that, just know if you haven't done any yin, I feel like the people that are live most have done it. If you haven't, yin is focused on long held passive postures. Okay, so we're going to be holding some postures for 3, 5, maybe more minutes. Some people hold yin postures for like 20 or so. And we're going to kind of travel through them with some counter postures along the way. Just really listen to your body. Okay, I'll give variations, I'll give options for props, even some wall options for you, but really honor what you're feeling today. So let's get started. In a comfortable seat, I like to use I have this meditation cushion, but really anything that gives you a little height on the hips is nice to get started on our sitting meditation. And just really try to ground your sit bones, okay? Try to level your hips here. Try to feel your sit bones grounding, rooted on the ground. And then your legs can be crossed, lotus, whatever feels comfortable for you right now. And then imagine there's like a thin thread that's coming from your sit bones, torso, all the way up to the crown of your head and then up to the sky. So lengthening that spine, resting your hands on your lap, and then you can soften your gaze or close your eyes. Start inhaling deeply and exhaling. Inhale deeply through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Make sure you lower your shoulders, maybe do a few circles to relax them. Feel your sit bones really rooted on your cushion on the earth. And then notice what's happening around you today. How's the temperature in your room? How's the temperature in your body? Are there any sounds? Maybe the dog is walking around. Maybe there's a few birds outside, cars. Are there any smells around you? Any coffee? Perhaps a candle? And keep noticing. And with that same awareness, start noticing how your breath is traveling through your body. So notice the inhales and the exhales. Where is the breath going? Is it shallow? Is it deep? Is it fast? Is it slow? And as you're noticing, I invite you to notice this just without trying to change it, right? Without trying to judge it if it's right, wrong, if it should be this way or that way. Just observe. Bring that same awareness to your body. How's your body feeling today? Are there any aches, any soreness? Maybe you worked out this week. Maybe you worked a lot on your computer and your back is feeling it. Or maybe you were standing up a lot, walked around a lot. Maybe you rode a lot of bikes, a lot of bikes. You rode your bike. Anything that you did that you're feeling in your body today, just notice that. And now I invite you to keep that awareness and keep that breath as your anchor as we move through this meditation. This is called the rain meditation, which is very timely for the weather here in Calgary. And it's called rain because each letter represents each step, I guess, of the journey. So the first step is letter R, recognize. So again, recognize any sensations in your body today, any emotions that might arise. And just notice them. It might be helpful to label them like, oh, that's a feeling. Oh, that's a thought. Because thoughts are going to come and go throughout the whole practice. Or, oh, that's a sensation. So just notice them and label them as a way of simply observing them without getting attached to them, right? Simply let them come and go. And then we'll move on to the next letter, letter A, accept. So acknowledge these thoughts, these emotions, these sensations, and simply let them be. This is, I think, probably the hardest part because we get attached to these things, we get attached to these narratives, these feelings, these emotions, and we sometimes think we are these feelings, we are these thoughts. So try to put some distance there without judgment, without attachment, without trying to change or label them good or bad, right or wrong. Just let them be what they are. And then moving on to letter I, investigate. So now we're bringing that curiosity that is very key to this practice and to life, right? So now that you've acknowledged, you've accepted, you can investigate, okay, so this feeling, this thought, what could it mean? Where is it coming from? This sensation in my body, where is that coming from? Is it connected to something else? And keep breathing. And then the last letter, letter N, means non-identifying. So that distance that we want to have from these thoughts, these emotions, these sensations means we're not trying to personalize them or identify with them. Okay. We just have this natural awareness. And then the N also goes for nurturing yourself. So after you've gone through this process, you also want to give yourself some compassion and some grace. Okay, I'm feeling this. I'm thinking this. This is hard, maybe, but I'm acknowledging it. I'm having the curiosity to investigate, and I'm giving myself the compassion I need right now to nurture myself. Keep breathing here and keep noticing what's coming up for you. Take a few more deep breaths here as you let that rain kind of fall over you. And I invite you to take this awareness and this gentle curiosity with you throughout the practice. Take a few more deep breaths. And then very slowly, very gently, start opening your eyes and coming back to this moment. Maybe give yourself some neck rolls here. A twist to the left side. And then a twist to the right side. All right, let's get moving. So I invite you to stay on that little cushion if you had it. For these first few postures, it's really nice to have that height in your sit bones, to have your hips a little more elevated than your knees. We're gonna start with the soles of your feet together to find butterfly, okay? So take your time. I know we're breathing, so there's no rush here. There's no rush really for any of these postures. Find the soles of your feet meeting together, and then your legs can be as further apart or as close to your body as you want. So it really depends on what sensation you're looking for. Okay, so test it out. If you want to feel it more in your adductors, or if you want to feel it more in your hamstrings. And then once you find that place, check in with your knees. If they're uncomfortable, if they're like too high up and you want to support them, you can use the blocks or cushions to put them under. And then once that base is feeling great, we're going to find some length here, going back to that thread, taking a deep inhale. And then on the exhale, we're going to start folding forward. Okay, any amount. So you can walk your hands and find that spot, right, where you feel that sensation. And then you can bring any of your props to support you. So maybe a bolster or a few blocks. And then check in. Once you find that first natural point, you're going to stay here, breathing. If your spine does not want to fold forward, does not want to round, that's perfectly fine to stay up here, stay neutral. Or the wall is a perfect option. You can always come to the wall. I'll demo just in case this is helpful. You can bring that same cushion in the base of your back and then do your butterfly against the wall. This option is great if you have any lower back issues, And you just want to focus on the lower body. So find your butterfly. And keep checking in. Breathing, melting in the pose, and just relaxing your muscles so that we can get to the deeper connective tissue. Bringing that awareness that we talked about during rain. Checking in with your body. Where are you feeling it? Where is your breath right now? And eventually, throughout these postures, your body might open up and might invite you to, I don't like saying going deeper, because then everyone feels like they have to go deeper. Um, but your body may invite you to go to that next point of sensation. So you might be like, oh, I'm not feeling it as much because I've been here for a while. And maybe I have to move a little bit lower to feel it again. So keep that gentle curiosity, keep investigating throughout these postures to find that edge. And that edge might move. And it's an edge of sensation, but it's also an edge of emotion. Okay, so things might come up and you may notice those feelings, those emotions, and then you may adjust the posture to support yourself throughout. Take a few more deep breaths here. And then on your next inhale, very slowly, you're going to walk your hands back up. If you had a prop, just put it on the side for a second. And you're going to windshield wipe your legs from one side to the other side. Maybe you want to stay in one side and be like, oh, let me investigate here. It's a little sticky. You want to go to the other side. So rinse that posture. You can open your chest to the sky a little bit for a mini back bend. And then once that feels complete, come back to that seat, to the little cushion that you have. And then extend your legs in front of you. Give it a little shake. And then you're gonna widen your legs to find straddle. And we don't have to go into the splits. Like really, this is not about that. So try to find the edge of sensation and then use that cushion to tilt your pelvis forward. So you're not here, you're here, okay? Your spine is tall. Check in with your knees. You don't have to be super, super extended. You can have a soft band and even put something under, again, a block, a cushion, especially if you have sensitive knees. Make sure your feet are flexed to protect your knees as well. And then once you're like, okay, I found my base, I found my foundation, take that deep inhale. And then on the exhale, start walking your hands forward and find that edge. So that edge can be in front of you, or that edge can be towards the left or towards the right. If you do want to stay on one side, I will cue you halfway so you can go to the other side and kind of balance that out, okay? And then your hands can rest on the ground, on a bolster, on a blanket, and breathe. If your back is not feeling the folding forwards today, stay neutral or use the wall. The wall is really great for these postures. It just allows gravity to do the work for you while protecting your back. And yeah, if there's any sensitivity on the ankles or on the feet, you can place something under your feet, like a blanket or something. Remember to breathe. So you might feel this in your bum. You might feel it in your hamstrings, in your hips. But it's very interesting. Everyone feels these postures in different places because we're all very unique, very different. So keep investigating. Where am I feeling it? Ooh, right here. How does that feel? Relax your shoulders, relax that space between your eyebrows. Separate your shoulders from your ears. Relax your face. Maybe give yourself a little smile. Wiggle your toes a little bit. And yeah, if the posture invites you to go to a different place, go for it. If you were in one side, go to the other side. Check in with your neck and soften, 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 soften. That's the biggest cue throughout. If you find yourself gripping, holding, forcing, soften. It's only through softening that we can get to where we're going to get. We want to get to those deep tissues so they can glide, so they can move around, so they can flow, so the energy can flow. Couple of more breaths here. And then very slowly on your next inhale, start coming up. Be very gentle here. Get your prop out of the way. Maybe open up your chest towards the sky as you bring your legs together. Oof. I'm very sore today. Shake your legs. Maybe windshield wipe them a little bit more. And you might start noticing that your hips will start opening up. Your legs might feel a little bit different. Mm. Yeah. So give yourself what you need in between each one. Sip of water. And now come back to a seat on that cushion. I'm just going to move so I can show you a bit better. And bring your legs extended in front of you. Again, check in with the pelvis, check in, tilt it forward a little bit so you're not sitting here, you're sitting tall. Your spine is tall, neutral. The crown of your head is pointing towards the sky. Wiggle your toes a little bit. Bring your shoulders down. And then bend your knees, both of your knees, and bring them kind of close to you and give yourself a little hug. And this can be here or here. So bring your hands under your legs, under your knees, and then hug yourself. Maybe move to one side or the other side and relax your neck here. And then very slowly, we're going to start walking our feet. And while you're releasing your hands, if you want, you can stay hugging yourself until you find your caterpillar, okay, or your forward fold. So this could be right here. This is a perfect place to stay. Or you can go all the way down, and then you can find a blanket or a bolster to put under your knees, or you can just extend your legs. Just keep a soft bend on your knees if needed. And then once you find that place, that edge of sensation here, you stay. So hands can be resting on you, on the sides of your legs, on your legs, on your feet, wherever they arrive, or they can even support the face. Breathe here. Beautiful. This is your little cocoon, your safe place. So you can hold yourself here. And really throughout this practice, you support yourself to give yourself what you need. Remember to breathe. If thoughts come and go, if your mind wanders, that is expected. That is normal. So remember that recognition. So notice, you can label thought, emotion, feeling, and let it go. You can be thinking about what you did today, what you're doing tomorrow, all your to-dos. That is fine. Just try to observe it and kindly let it go. Your mind's going to wander, but your breath can always be that anchor. So you can always come back to the breath. If you find yourself distracted, okay, breathe in and out. Couple more breaths here. And then on your next inhale, very kindly, you can start walking your hands to bring yourself up. Shake your legs a little bit. And then we're going to come to hands and knees or tabletop to rinse our spine a little bit from all this forward folding. So bring your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips for tabletop. And then we can find some cat cows here or just move freely. So you want to find your cat cow, just bring your pelvis up, tilt your pelvis up towards the sky, arch your back, crown of the head up. That's your cow. And then for cat, just bring your belly button to spine, tilt your pelvis down, chin to chest. Inhale on your cow. Exhale on your cat. And then really make this your own if you want to just like do some circles with your spine to one side or the other. Or even bring your hips down and up, one side and the other. Just flow with it. Give your spine what it needs. Maybe you stay one side or the other side. And then when that feels complete, we're going to go to downward dog. So press on your hands, tuck your toes and bring your hips up, melting your chest down towards the mat. Pressing your mat with your hands. And then with the intention to bring your heels down, but your heels do not have to touch. Breathe here. Bring space between your shoulders and your ears. And then lift your right leg up as if you were kicking the wall behind you. Find balance there. This is just for a moment. And then bring your right knee towards your right wrist to find swan, or a very similar pose to pigeon. So extend your left leg back. And then this is very important for swan. So we really want to find a place where our sit bones are leveled. So we don't want to be all the way on our right hip like this. We want to find a place where we're really grounded. And for that, personally, I need some height, some support. So a cushion might be really nice to put under that hip that might want to go up. So I'm placing it on my right hip right now, and that's helping me find that balance. Your front leg, take care of your knee. So that front leg, the foot doesn't have to be on that 90-degree angle that a lot of people look for. You can bring your foot in to protect that knee. So find the best place for that. So for me right now, it's bringing it really close to my hips. And then the back leg extends all the way to the back of your mat. And then again, knee, if you have any issues with your knee, just put something under your knee or even under your shin to give your knee some space, okay? So once you have the base of your swan ready to go, once you have those sit bones balanced, then your hands just are here to support you and to keep that chest up. So you can bring a bolster. Personally, my arms are really short, so I need something to give myself height. So bring a bolster, bring 2 blocks, and then check in with your lower back. So if your lower back is like, not feeling this, then you might want to walk your hands forward a little bit. And once you find your swan, breathe here. If swan is like not great for you today, we can go into deer. So for deer, basically you bring this leg, this back leg, you bring your foot towards your hip and bring your front foot towards your hip as well. And then you try to find that place where your sit bones are balanced. And then you might start opening up your feet a little bit more. So this is deer. In both postures, swan and deer, we really want to make sure that our hips are balanced. And then we're really grounded here. So whatever feels more appropriate for your knees, for your hips. Stay there, breathing. Relax your shoulders here. Relax your neck. Soften. I know you're using your hands to kind of keep yourself up, but really try to soften there so you're not just putting a lot of force on them, okay? Bring the weight to your hips a little bit more instead of bringing it all the way to your hands. Last few breaths here. And then on the next breath, we're gonna go to sleeping swan. Some of you might already be there because that felt appropriate for you. But basically, we're gonna walk our hands forward very slowly and fold forward until it feels supported. So that might mean just go onto your forearms or all the way down. Same thing with your deer. If you're in deer pose, if you're up here, you're folding forward on that front leg. Very important here is to try not to dump all your weight on your hands or on your shoulders and upper body. Just try to keep grounding your weight on your hips, okay? And keep both sit bones as rooted as you can, as balanced as you can. And breathe. Relaxing your shoulders, your neck, relaxing your cheeks, your mouth, breathing there. And then on the next inhale, we're going to start walking our hands back up. And then bring your back leg to meet your front leg. Bring them in front of you, extend them and shake them a little bit. Bend your left knee and bring that left foot over your right leg. And then you're gonna inhale, bringing your hands up. Exhale, bring your hands down and twist towards your left leg. Just a couple breaths here to twist. Inhaling and exhaling. On your next inhale, come back to center. Bring your hands up. Exhale down. Bring your left foot to bring your right foot. Shake your legs a little bit more. And then meet me on tabletop. Again, hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. You can do a few more cat-cows here or just wiggle your hips, whatever feels comfortable for you, whatever your spine and your body is asking for. Maybe a few barrel rolls to one side or to the other side. And try to link your breath with the movement. Inhaling on cow, exhaling on cat. And then when that feels complete, we're going to come back to downward facing dog. So tuck your toes, press your hands on the mat, and bring your hips up. Melting your heart towards the mat. Bringing your shoulders down. Remember, your heels do not have to touch the mat. Just have that intention of bringing them down. Relax your neck here. And then in your next inhale, lift your left leg up as if you were kicking a wall behind you. And then find your balance here. Try to level your hips. And then on the next breath, we're going to bring that left knee to meet our left wrist to find swan pose on the left side. So again, check in with hips. If you're going all the way to the left, bring something under it. Bring a cushion, a blanket, and then find that balanced place. Your right leg extends towards the back of the mat. Protect your knee. If you need to place something under, do so. And then check in with the front leg. How's your knee feeling? If it's not feeling too great, then bring your foot closer to you. You do not have to have this front leg in 90-degree. You can have it as close to you or as far away as it feels comfortable. The main point is to level your hips here. So once that feels supportive, check in with hands. Actually, on this side might feel very different. On this side, I want to use blocks. So I'm going to bring my blocks here to give myself some height. And then stay here. This side might feel very different from the other side. So you don't have to do the same thing. Just do what your body's asking for on this side. Relax your shoulders, lower them, separate them from your ears. Check in with lower back. If lower back is hurting, you can walk your hands forward. And remember that there's always the option for deer. Just bringing that back leg closer to you, front leg closer to you, and finding that balanced and rooted place for your sit bones. I'll show you from this side. So whether you're on swan or on deer, keep breathing. Checking in with your legs, checking in with your knees, checking in with your back, your shoulders, your arms. Soften your arms, soften your elbows. And check in with your breath. How are you feeling? Breathing in and out. Maybe as you breathe in, your belly fills in, your lungs fill in. And as you breathe out, you feel that your belly contracts, your chest lowers. A couple more breaths here. On your next breath, we're going to go to sleeping swan or sleeping deer if you're on deer. So very gently, very slowly, keeping your weight on your hips, you're going to walk your hands forward to fold forward on that front leg. Whatever amount. Remember, we're trying to find that edge of sensation, okay? So you don't have to go all the way down just to do it. So find the edge. If the edge is on your forearms, that's great. If the edge is all the way down to your forehead, that's great. And then same thing for deer. If we're on deer, we can fold forward on that front leg. Trying to keep our sit bones rooted, our hips balanced. Breathing in here. Bring your shoulders down. Wiggle your toes. Keep that weight on your hips, not on your hands or arms. And then on your next inhale, very slowly, we're waking up that swan or that deer. Coming on up and bringing our legs in front of us to give them a little shake. And then you're going to bend your right leg this time, bringing your foot to the mat, and then bring that foot over that left leg. Take a deep inhale, bringing your hands up to the sky. And then on the exhale, twist towards your right side. Keep that spine tall. Keep your left foot flexed. And breathing. And just for a few moments here. On your next breath, take a deep inhale, bring your hands up again. And down to center. Exhaling. Release that right foot, give them a shake again. Take anything you need if you need a few more windshield wipers here. We're gonna come down to lie on our backs for the next few postures. So take a sip of water if you need to, and bring a prop to keep it close because we might or might not need it. Okay. So lie on your back when you're ready. And then if you want to give yourself a few more windshield wipers here as you're on your back, that might feel really nice. And then keeping your knees bent, you're going to bring your feet as wide as your yoga mat, or even outside of your yoga mat. So feet are really wide, and then your knees are coming together to kiss. And we'll rest here for a little bit. Bring your hands to your belly. And breathe. Taking in everything you've done today. And seeing how it feels now that you're lying on your back. Now, on the next inhale, you're going to extend your legs. And you're going to interlace your fingers like this. And bring your hands behind your head. As if you were like lying on, I don't know, a park or a beach and looking at the sky. This might feel very nice already, like a little stretch on your arms and your shoulders. Now, keeping your bum and your hips rooted on the mat, glued to the mat, you're going to use your arms to help lift your head up and bring your head and your shoulders to the right side of your mat. You might need to shuffle a little bit to come all the way to the right until you're like, okay, I can't move any further. Keeping your hips and your bum glued to the mat. So once you get to as far as you can on the right side, you're going to do the same thing with your feet. Keeping your hips glued, you're going to start shifting them towards the lower right corner of your mat until you can't any further. So we want to get a little banana shape with our bodies, or a half moon. That could also be the shape. Now, options here for your feet. Your feet can be just next to each other, or you can clasp your left foot on top of right, or your right foot on top of left. So test it out, see what feels good. The clasping might be nice to keep your feet from moving. And then your hands can stay here under your head, or you can bring them all the way above your head, extend your arms, and then clasp your right hand under your left hand to keep it in place. We don't want to pull it. We don't want to pull or force anything. We're just keeping it in place here. This might be a nice stretch for all the left side body, from your hands, your arms, and then your torso, all the way down to your IT band. So breathe here. If your left shoulder is coming up too much, you can use something to put under, maybe a little cushion or a blanket to feel supported here. We wanted you to feel rooted and grounded on the mat as you're in this banana shape. Keep breathing here. Keep noticing how your body's feeling. Where you're feeling this stretch. And check in. You don't have to go too far to your right. If you need to come back a little, come back a little. That's okay. It doesn't have to be an extreme banana. Remember to inhale and to exhale. You can soften your gaze here or close your eyes if you haven't already. And keep recognizing what's coming up. If your hands or your shoulders at any point get tingly here, just bring them down next to your head. That might happen when you have your arms overhead. So any numbness or tingling, just bring them down. Bring them maybe under your head again or just in that vicinity. On your next inhale, if you had a prop under your shoulder, slide it away from you and then come back to center very slowly. So undo the banana and come back to the center of your mat. Bring your knees towards your chest. Hug yourself and maybe sway from side to side. Give your lower back a little massage here. You can circle your knees to one side and to the other, one way, the other way. And then we're going to do the banana to the other side. So come back to center, extend your legs, interlace your fingers, and bring your hands behind your head. We're staring. Maybe now we're staring at a night sky. We're looking at the stars right now. Breathe in. And then on your next breath, keeping your hips and your bum glued to the mat, you're going to start shifting towards the left side of your mat now, the upper left corner. So bring your head in, your shoulders as far as you feel it's appropriate. So it might be less intense on the other side or more, whatever you need. Once you get there, we're going to do the same with your feet. Bring your feet towards the lower left corner of your mat until you find your banana shape. Remember, you can keep your feet together or you can clasp your right foot on top of left or left on top of right to keep them in place. And then your hands can stay here under your head, or you can extend your arms overhead and clasp your left hand under your right wrist to keep it in place. Breathe here. Feel the stretch on all the side body, the right side body. Breathing in and out. And softening and melting in this pose as much as you can. Letting it marinate. Letting it nurture you. Keep breathing. And then on the next breath or two, start coming back to center. Undo the banana. And then bring your knees to your chest again. Sway your hips from side to side. Give yourself a tight hug here. And then bring your right hand towards your left knee and use that to help bring both of your knees or both of your legs towards the right side of your mat. Your left hand can be extended on a T shape or a cactus shape. So T would be just extended and cactus would be kind of like 90-degree. And your head can be facing the sky, or you can be looking towards your left side. Feel this twist as we are closing the practice. On the next breath, come back to center, bring your knees up towards your chest again, and then this time with your left hand, place it on your right knee, and then help your legs fall towards your left side. Extend your right arm on a T shape or cactus shape, and then you can look towards the ceiling or towards the right side. Feeling this twist on this other side. . Few more breaths here. On your next inhale, come back to center. And then give yourself whatever you need here before going into Shavasana or corpse pose. So if you need a few more circles on your knees, if you need to hug yourself, if you need a happy baby, whatever you need here before coming to stillness. And then for Shavasana, just bring a blanket, maybe take a last sip of water, bring all the cushions, all the sweaters, just as supported and as cozy as you want to get. Mm. And then once you're ready to lie on your back, take space here. Okay, so you can widen your legs as much as you want, widen your arms. If you want to place a bolster under your knees, that might feel nice. Whatever you need to take space and to feel rested and relaxed here. So take a few deep breaths. And then on your next exhale, soften your gaze or close your eyes. And take it all in. Take it everything you did today. Take in this beautiful way that you decided to take this time for yourself, for your body, for your mind, for your spirit. You showed up. You were breathing mindfully. You still are. You moved. And you were here, present. It might have been challenging, but you are here now. Start checking in with the crown of your head, face, your neck, your shoulders, your chest, your belly, your arms, your hands, your fingers, your hips, your bum, your legs, quads, hamstrings, your knees, your shins and calves, your heels, your ankles, your feet, all the way down to your toes. One of the complicated things about being a human is that we're constantly navigating, negotiating, and integrating who we once were, who we are today, and who we're becoming. How we relate to our past, present, and future selves is an essential element of overall happiness. There are three questions that you can ask yourself to improve those relationships. To your past, how might I forgive myself for the past? Whatever mistakes you made, you were doing the very best you could at the time. Holding on to self-judgment only harms your present self. When we forgive, we're actually more likely to learn from those mistakes and experience better mental and emotional well-being. To your present, how might I accept myself? Self-acceptance means recognizing that you're enough exactly as you are in this moment. You do not have to earn or achieve anything to be worthy. To your future self, how might I envision who I want to be in the future? In imagining your future self, you can consciously evolve as a person, cultivate the best parts of you, and increase your hope and resilience to help you make that vision a reality. On the next few breaths, very gently start waking up the body, wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, wiggling your ankles, very slowly, very gently. Start opening your eyes, and then if you want, you can stay lying on your back, but if you want to come meet me on a seated position to close the practice, take your time. Check in with your neck there and your shoulders. And once you find your seat, let's take a deep, deep inhale and exhale through your mouth. Let it all out. Let's find one more deep inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Bring your palms to heart center. Inhale. And then exhale, bowing forward. Namaste.